last class, we just started to think about the rishis and gurus. This is a very, very important aspect of our Sanatana Dharma. Our land itself is known as Arsham. Our culture is known as Arsham. Arsha Samskara, Arsha Bharatam. So, Arsha means what? That which is belonging to the rishis. നമ്മുടെ സംസ്കാരവും നമ്മുടെ ഭാരതവും ഒക്കെ അറിയപ്പെടുന്നത് ആർഷം എന്നുള്ള പദം കൊണ്ടാണ്. ആർഷം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അർത്ഥം ഋഷിയെ സംബന്ധിക്കുന്നത് എന്നർത്ഥം. ആർഷം എന്നർത്ഥം ഋഷിയെ സംബന്ധിക്കുന്നത്. ദാറ്റ് വിച്ച് ഈസ് related to rishi is known as arsha. 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 Rishi, that which is belonging to or connected with rishi is arsha. Morning class we saw so that the rishi shabda can be derived in two ways. One, from the shabda ru. So rishi means what? Through him, through whom the divine wisdom is given or spoken. So they are just medias through which the divine wisdom is given to human beings. Or Rishi, also the one who knows. So two meanings are there, and then we will see why two meanings are present. Rishi എന്നുള്ള ശബ്ദത്തിന് രണ്ട് വിധത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് അതിനെ ആ ശബ്ദം ഉണ്ടാക്കാം. ഒന്ന് റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നൊരു ശബ്ദം. സംസ്കൃതത്തിൽ റ് എന്ന അക്ഷരത്തിന് തന്നെ ശബ്ദം എന്നാണ് അർത്ഥം. അപ്പോൾ ഋഷി എന്ന് വെച്ചാലോ ആരിലൂടെയാണോ ദൈവികമായ ശബ്ദം നമുക്ക് വെളിപ്പെടുത്തപ്പെട്ടത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആ വ്യക്തി എന്ന് പറയും ഋഷി എന്ന് പറയും. അതുമാതിരി സംസ്കൃതത്തിൽ ഋഷി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ധാതു ഉണ്ട്. അതിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം അറിയുക എന്നാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഋഷി വെച്ചാലോ അറിഞ്ഞവൻ എന്നർത്ഥം. Now let us see, when we see why such two different definitions, because although we say rishi, there are different kinds of rishi. There are different kinds of rishi. One is known as Saptarshihi. One type, Saptarshihi. Saptarshihi. Then there are Brahmarshihi. Brahmarshihi. Then there are Devarshihi. Then there are Rajarshi. Then it's known as Kandarshi. Then Maharshi. Then Pararshi. Then Strutarshi. Then Rishi. So there are 9 kinds of rishis. Anything you take up, then so much is there in this. What to do? So we believe in our Indian or Bharatiya Kalpana, according to us, in every creation the creation is divided into Kalpa. Kalpa means the day of Brahman. We will study the Kala Ganana, the time of Indian. So Kalpa means what? 1 day of Brahman. In that 1 day of Brahman, there will be 48,000 rishis, not 1 or 2. 48,000 rishis will be there, but all of them may not be in earth, in the 14 levels of existence. They will be there, okay, and for our earth, every yuga, there will be 98 rishis appointed only for earth. Among these 48,000, they may come to earth and then they go, but this 98 are appointed to earth. They will be here with us. In one kalpa, 1 day of the Brahman. Brahma's 1 day. Okay. Now, in this 98 means, as I said, 1 day of Brahma. Okay. In this 1 day of Brahma is divided into Manvantara. 1 day, like when we say that, let's say 24 hours or 20, or let us say day is now, let us say if it is 12 hours, 6 to 6, then this 12 hours is divided into 1 day is divided into 12 hours, isn't it? Then it is again divided into half, like that. So like that, the entire day of Brahmaji is divided into Manvantara. There are 14 Manvantaras. In 1 day of in 1 day of Brahmaji, 1 day, okay, in 1 day of Brahmaji, 14 Manvantaras will happen. In one Manu's time, 71 Chaturyugas will happen. Okay, just understand this much. So 14 Manvantaras, like there is a government in India. If everything goes well, a government stays for 5 years, and there is an election again. That's how like that in Brahmaji's 1 day, 14 governments comes and go. In one day Brahmaji, Manvantara means there is a set of, there will be a Manu, Devatas, Indra, Prajapati, all of them will come. They will be living here for 71 Chaturyugas, and that government will be, then another Manvantara will start. Okay, now we are in which one Manvantara we are? 7th Manvantara. Okay, this Manvantara's name is Vaivaswata Manvantara. Okay, we are in the 7th Manvantara. Anyhow, so now why I am telling all this? Because I want to tell about Saptarshi. So when one Manu takes charge, Manu is like the president. Okay, president of India, Manu is the president, and the prime minister is Indra. Prime minister is Indra. Indra will have his cabinet of Devatas, Agni, Yama, Varuna, Niruddhi, etc., etc. So if you perform 100 Ashwamedhas, okay, then you will get one chance to become an Indra. So what we want to say is, Indra is a Jiva. So one who is ruling now us, that Indra, once he was Jiva in this earth, who were lucky enough to perform 100 Ashwamedhas. He got so much of punya, because of which he is there. Now, next Indra is, now you cannot become the next Indra, because that next Indra is already reserved. Who is that? Mahabali. Mahabali is going to be the next Indra. It's already this. Hanumanji is going to be the next Brahmaji. When it will happen, God knows. Anyhow, so, understood. So, you think about our cabinet, okay, there's a president. President is known as Manu. Prime Minister is known as Indra. Okay. Now, there's an advisory board. For a government, it's not that the Prime Minister or those people knows everything. No. There's an advisory board actually advise the Prime Minister and the President, etc. Otherwise, you do not know what is atomic energy and all that. It's not that they are sarvajñas. So, there is an advisory board, and that advisory board is known as Saptarshi. So in each and every Manvantara, there is an advisory board. Now, there will be 7 rishis appointed as the advisory board. So once Manu changes, then they also lose that Saptarshi. Some other rishis will become, if you want, okay. Now, for each play time, there are different rishis will become this advisory board. Now, who are the Saptarshis for us now? Little difference are there. According to the Purana, some Puranas, they say 7. Of course, every 7 only. Vishwamitra, Jamadagni, Bharadwaja, Gautama, Atri, Vasishta, and Kashyapa. That's what I will tell. Vishwamitra, Jamadagni, Bharadwaja, Gautama, Atri, Vasishta, and Kashyapa. According to Vaishnava Puranas, these 7 are the appointed Saptarshis now. But according to some other Puranas, some other, that is Marichayo Angira Hatrischa Vasishta Pulaha Kratuhu Pulasaschedi Vikhyataha Saptete. According to some other Purana, there are some 5 others, that is Marichaya, Marichi, Angiras, Atri, Vasishtaha, Pulaha, Kratuhu, Pulastyaha. According to some other Purana, so actually we do not know. Anyhow, 7 of them are there. They are known as Saptarshi. Who are the Saptarshis? Saptarshis are the advisory committee to the Manu and Indra. So whenever there is anything they want to discuss, they always approach these 7 rishis. Means they are the greatest with lots of spiritual powers with them. Now comes the Brahmarshi. Okay, why I said all this, you got na? If you want to understand what is Saptarshi, Saptarshi means in one Manvantara period, those 7 are selected as the Saptarshis. Okay, they will be there as an advisory committee. Now comes the Brahmarshi. There will be in one Manu, no? One Manu is ruling. He will be ruling for 71 Chaturyugas. Chaturyuga means now is going on, no? Like Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga together is known as one Yuga. Like that, 71 Chaturyugas is the time of one Manu. Like we have 5 years, for Manu, 71 Chaturyugas, one Manu rules.
4 Yugas, 1 Chaturyuga.
4 Yugas together is known as Chatur. Chatur means 4. Chaturyuga means combination of 4. Okay. In that, now we are living in the 28th Chaturyuga.
One Manvantara, what is the duration?
That I will tell you. We'll say there's another thing coming up, Kalaganana. So that I will explain, because in order to that I have to come from the base, basic connect in the calculation, and slowly we have to come. I will tell you.
The second Marichi Angiras, which is
according to Shiva Purana. ആരായണത്തിൽ ഏതാണ്? മരീചിയായിരിക്കും അല്ലേ? So ഓരോ പുരാണങ്ങൾ കുറച്ച് there are little differences in each Puranas. Okay. So Saptarshi. Next is Brahmarshi. What is Brahmarshi? Please, 1 minute. This Brahma word have different meanings. Okay. One word we all know. Brahma means what? Paramatma. Brahman is also Brahmaji, means creator. Brahma word also has the meaning Veda. Brahma also means Veda. That's why, what is the first ashrama? Brahmachari. And what is the last ashrama? Sannyasi. What do you mean by Brahmachari? Generally they say Brahmachari means Brahmani Charati. Iti Brahmachari means one who is established in Brahman. And then sannyasi comes as so their Brahmachari, that Brahma word means not Paramatma, but Veda. So, in the 4 ashramas, brahmachari means what? One who studies Veda. There Brahma means Veda. Now here Brahmarshi means what? 2 meanings are there. A person who is a knower of Brahman and also a knower of Vedas. Brahmarshi means what? A Brahmarshi is a knower of Brahman, at the same time he is knower of Vedas also. Why I am telling this? When I explain, you will understand. So Brahmarshi is Brahmavit and Shrotriyam Brahmanishta. Shrotriya also, Brahmanishta also. One who is the knower of Brahman also, one who is the knower of Shastra also. So that is known as Brahmarshi. Name one Brahmarshi, very famous. Vasishtha. No, Vasishtha was a Brahmarshi and Vishwamitra did so much of tapas and all that to become Brahmarshi. And then one day Vasishtha said, okay, you are also Brahmarshi. So Brahmarshi. Now comes the third, Devarshi. Devarshi means what? 2 meanings. Devascha asau rishischa. He is a Deva and he is also a Rishi. ഒരേ സമയം ദേവനുമാണ് ഋഷിയുമാണ്. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആൾക്കാരെയാണ് എന്ത് പറയുക? ദേവർഷി എന്ന് പറയാം. At the same time he is a Deva. Like Agni, Indra, Varuna, like that. He is a Deva and he is a Rishi also. So such a person is known as Devarshi. Another meaning is Devarshi means the one who is even worshipped by Devatas. Devarshi also has another meaning, a person, a Rishi who is worshipped by Devatas, also known as Devarshi. So Devarshiki 2 അർത്ഥം. ഒന്ന് ദേവനാണ് ഋഷിയുമാണ്. രണ്ടാമത്തെ അർത്ഥം ദേവന്മാരാൽ പോലും ആരാധിക്കപ്പെടുന്ന ഋഷി. Who is that? Like there are many, but most very famous is Devarshinam cha Naradaha. When Bahuvachana is used, there are many others also, but Narada is the most famous. Devarshi. Now comes next, Rajarshi. Raja cha asau rishischa. He is a king and Rishi. He is the king and knower of Brahman. ഒരേ സമയം രാജാവുമാണ് ആത്മജ്ഞാനത്തോടു കൂടിയവനുമാണ്. അപ്പോൾ രാജാവും ഒരേ സമയത്ത് ഭരണവും അതേസമയം ആത്മജ്ഞാനത്തിൽ അധിഷ്ഠിതനുമായ ആളെയാണ് എന്ത് പറയുക? രാജർഷി എന്ന് പറയാം. രാജാച അസൗ ഋഷിശ്ച രാജർഷി. He is at the same time he is a king and knower of Brahman. Very few. Example, Janakaha. Janakaha. We used to call our last king of Cochin, we used to call him Rajarshi. Parikshit Tamburan, we used to call. Okay, that is only by. So, that is Rajarshi. Rajacha asau Rishishcha. The last king of Cochin was a great scholar and a king also. We can call him, but generally he is an Alvar. Kulashekara is an Alvar. Okay. Now comes Kandarshi. Okay. Saptarshi, Brahmarshi, Devarshi, Rajarshi. Fifth is Kandarshi. Means what? See, there are, if you take Veda, there is a Veda book. Have you seen? We have Veda inside. And sometime you should go and see this, how the Veda looks. It's a very sad part with us because every Christian home there will be Bible. Every Muslim they will have Quran. In our house, no Veda. So at least we should say, have you seen Vedas? Yes. At least that much is. So there is a Veda book. Please sometimes go and see how it looks at least. Okay. And you will see that before each mantra, they will tell, this is the Rishi. So Kandarshi means what? Kanda means portion of Veda. Is known as Kandaha. Kandaha means what? A portion of Veda. And those people to whom that portion of Veda is revealed is known as Kandarshi. എന്താ കാണ്ഡർഷി ചർത്ഥം? കാണ്ഡം എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വേദത്തിലെ ഒരു ഭാഗം എന്നർത്ഥം. കാണ്ഡർഷിച്ചാലോ ആർക്കാണോ വേദത്തിലെ ആ ഭാഗം വെളിപ്പെടുത്തപ്പെട്ടത് അയാളുടെ പേരാണ് കാണ്ഡർഷി. പുരുഷസൂക്തസ്യ നാരായണ ഋഷി. പുരുഷസൂക്തത്തിന് നാരായണൻ ആണ് ഋഷി എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ എന്താർത്ഥം? നാരായണൻ ആ ഋഷിക്ക് അദ്ദേഹത്തിനാണ് പുരുഷസൂക്തം വെളിപ്പെടുത്തപ്പെട്ടത് ഈ സമയത്ത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് അദ്ദേഹമാണ് ഋഷി. അപ്പോൾ കാണ്ഡം ഒരു ഭാഗത്തിൻ്റെ ആരാണോ കാണുന്നത്. സോ വൺ ഹു സീസ് വൺ പോർഷൻ ഓഫ് വേദിക് അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡിങ് സൂക്ത ഇസ് നോൺ ആസ് കാണ്ഡർഷി. വിശ്വാമിത്ര ഋഷി അസ്യ ഗായത്രി മഹാമന്ത്രസ്യ വിശ്വാമിത്ര ഋഷി. Vishwamitra is the rishi. So there are some other mantras. Vasishta is rishi, Kannu is rishi, so many rishis. So a portion of Veda is revealed to them. Now comes Maharshi. Maharshi means what? Mahancha Rishischa. Mahancha Asau Rishischa. He is a great rishi. What do you mean? Then all others are not great or what? They are all great, but these people are special people. Why? Because these Maharshis are, they have contributed immensely for our culture. So who is a Maharshi? ഈ ഭാരതീയ സിദ്ധാന്തത്തിന് വലുതായ സംഭാവനകൾ നൽകിയവരെയാണെന്ന് പറയുക മഹർഷി. മഹർഷി എന്നർത്ഥം മഹർഷി മീൻസ് വാട്ട്? ദോസ് പീപ്പിൾ ഹു കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ടഡ് സോ മച്ച് ടു ദിസ് അവർ നോളേജ് സിസ്റ്റം ഇസ് നോൺ ആസ് മഹർഷി. മഹാൻച അസൗ ഋഷിശ്ച. ലൈക്ക് വേദവ്യാസഃ. If you take Veda, the original Vedic book, you will not see even one mantra which is seen by Vyasa. Vyasa has not seen any mantra, but we always say Maharshi. Maharshi Veda Vyasa. Why? Because he contributed so much for our knowledge system. He wrote the Purana, he wrote Mahabharata, he collected entire Vedas, he collected Puranas, he wrote Brahma Sutra. So much of contribution is given. So he is known as Maharshi. Mahancha Asau Rishishcha. Now comes another. What is that? Pararshi. Pararshi is a person who has realized the Paramatma. What is Pararshi? പരമാത്മാവിനെ ദർശിച്ചവനർത്ഥം. We may not even know their names. They may be, could be people among you also who has realized the Brahman. He is a Pararshi. But it is not that he knows some new mantras or anything. He has become one with the Paratma. A person who has realized, experienced the supreme truth as one's own self is known as Pararshi. Pararshi ചതർത്ഥം പരമാത്മാവിനെ ദർശിച്ചവൻ, പരമാത്മാവിനെ അനുഭവിച്ചവൻ. അതാണ് Pararshi. Now comes Shrutarshi. Shrutarshi means those great well-known acharyas. Here Shrutam means well-known. Everybody knows about them. Like Panini. Panini, have you heard about Panini?
Vyakaran.
See, the moment you say Samskrita Vyakaran, whom you say first name? Panini. The moment I say Nyaya system of India, what the name comes up? Gautama. Gautama. No, the moment we say Purvamimamsa, what name comes up? Jaimini. Patanjali, Jaimini, like that, such well known. Known as Sampradaya Pravartakaha. They are Pravartaka of great knowledge systems. Now, what is the difference between Maharshi and then Shrutarshi? Maharshi is not only just Pravartaka of one system, Srudarshi is the Pravartaka of one system and who is well known, very famous, known as Srudarshi. Then comes last Rishihi, Rishayo Mantradrashtaraha. Even if you see one mantra, you will become a Rishi. Just one mantra. That's a very beautiful story in Rigveda, I think. There was one, okay, we are talking about thousands of years back, okay. Now there is a Rishi who has seen mantras and he got one daughter. Now there is one person, he wanted to marry this daughter. And the Rishi said, no, I am not going to give my daughter to just X or Y or Z. I will give this only to a person who is a Rishi. Only to a Rishi I will give my daughter. Now this boy, he felt very bad and then he prayed to the Devatas and Ashwini Kumar has blessed him. And he also saw one mantra. So he became a Rishi. Then he married this daughter. Anyhow, that is one story. What I want to try to tell you is, Rishi means Rishayaha Mantradrashtaraha. They see the different mantras of Vedic law. Then what is the difference between Rishi and Kandarshi? Kandarshi is not the seer of one mantra. A portions of the Vedas are seen by Kandarshi. A Rishi, a few mantras. It can be 1, it can be 5, it can be 10. But he is not the, not the controller of entire portions of the Vedas. Okay, so these are the 9 kinds of Rishis. Want to ask something? പറയാം. ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചപ്പോൾ ഋഷിയെ കുറിച്ചിട്ടാണ്. എന്താണ്? ശ്രുതർഷി എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വളരെ ഫേമസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള, വളരെ കേൾവി കേട്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഋഷികൾ. ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് നമുക്ക് ചില പരമ്പരകളുണ്ട്. വ്യാകരണം, മീമാംസ, അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഓരോരോ ശാസ്ത്രങ്ങളെ പ്രവർത്തിപ്പിച്ചതായിട്ടുള്ള, അതിന് മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോയിട്ടുള്ള മഹാത്മാക്കളെയാണ് ശ്രുതർഷി എന്ന് പറയുക. ശ്രുതം എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കേൾവി കേട്ടവൻ, ഫേമസ് എന്നർത്ഥം. ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് ഇപ്പോൾ സംസ്കൃത വ്യാകരണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആദ്യം മനസ്സിൽ വരിക ആരുടെ പേരാണ്? പാണിനി. അത് പാണിനി ഒരു ശ്രുതർഷിയാണ്. പാണിനി ഒരു മന്ത്രവും കണ്ടിട്ടൊന്നുമില്ല. In the strict sense, he has not seen any Vedic mantra, but he is a pravartaka of a system and he is very famous. The moment you, അതുപോലെ നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പോൾ കേൾക്കുകയാണ് ന്യായം എന്ന് കേട്ട ഉടനെ ഗൗതമൻ എന്നുള്ള പേര്, they are so much associated. The moment we say yoga, Patanjali comes up. It's like as though they are so connected and well known. But we do not know. That is our sad state, we ourselves doesn't know our culture and our tradition. That is the saddest thing. Anyhow, but they used to be, Srudarshi. Now in West and Germany they know, at least. If we do not know, they know. So they are Srudarshis now. Anyhow.
When you say Gotra Pravartaka, so any of these can be Gotra Pravartaka.
We'll come to that. This much I am coming for next. Among this, anything you yes, in one kanda there could be some rishis. Like there is a in the Rigveda, Dashama Mandala is there. Dashama Mandala, there are many rishis. But in some mandalas, like there only Vasishtha is the rishi. In some chapters, mandalas, only Vishwamitra is Rishi. So they are not Kandarshi. Like Chota Mota, they are not Chota Mota, great people only, but they only see a few mantras. They are not a Pravartaka of the entire Kandas, entire portions. That's the difference.
Brahma Rishi and Deva Rishi. Does it mean that the Deva Rishi will not know Brahman?
No, that's what I say. Brahmarshi can be a man also, human being also can be a Brahmarshi. But he cannot be a Devarshi because he is not born as a Devata. So Narada is the Manasa Putra and he is a Devata. He is Devayoni. Actually, he is in the classification of Devata. And also he is a Rishi, Devarshi. Brahmarshi can be anyone. Like, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, they are human beings, but known. They will not be known as Devarshi because they are not born Devatas. No.
So that is, if you are a king and
No.
so is it also applicable to any kind of profession? Or?
Now we can tell, but then the profession, no. Rajarshi is always a king. So you can be if you are a good professional, you can Srudarshi, you can be Maharshi and all that. But Rajarshi is reserved for the kings, rulers, especially Kshatriyas.
Saptarshi is not human being.
Of course. Not human beings. I mean, human beings in the sense they might have born as human, but they are elevated as Devatas. It's possible. Like as I said, no. So like we say the story of different people. Let's say, have you heard the story of Nahusha? Nahusha was a king. He was just a human being king. But there was a need in Devaloka. So Nahusha was elevated as Indra. Although he was a human being like us. He was the father of Yayati. You heard of Yayati? Yes. Yayati's father was Nahusha, but there was a need in the Devaloka, and this person was fit for that, so he was elevated as Devatas. So Rishis, sometimes they are born as human beings, sometimes they are born in different worlds, as 14 worlds are there in any, but then they are elevated into this status of this different kinds. All those, it's not, there's no rule that everybody should be human beings. Not human beings born in the earth, they can be in different worlds. Padarshi, we can call them, we can call them. But nowadays we don't use such words. We so Mahatma and all that, Ramana Maharshi, we can call him, Like that we can call Sri Ramakrishna also Sri Ramakrishna Rishi, no problem. But we don't use that. So if somebody call, that's why Ramana, we call Ramana Maharshi. He is Mahancha, so Rishishcha. But if you ask what mantra he has seen, not because he has seen any mantra, but he is a pravartaka of a great system. So he is called as Maharshi. That we call our, we can call as. Okay. Now we can also add with our name. Which one I am thinking? We can add, no problem. Mr. Rishi, Mr. Maharshi. Something. Janakan Rajarshi aittan angigirikkapedunnathu. Now then in Gita also, what is that? Rajarshi, Janakade, no? So there's as a what you call as our tradition, Janaka is always considered as Rajarshi. Why you ask that? Rajarshiyana Janakan. Janakanana Rajarshiyude udaharanayittu eppozhum paraya. Okay. Now let us take this entire thing in a different view. Okay. Now, what do you mean by Rishi? So we have seen this. There are how many kinds of Rishis? 9 kinds of Rishis. Why they are Rishis? Why they are known as Rishis? Because of different reasons. Because they are Gotra Pravartakaha. If you want to become a Rishi, you should be one of this. Either you should be a Gotra Pravartakaha or Mantra Drishtaraha. Mantra Drashtamadi, that's all I am writing in Bahuvachana, Gotra Pravartakaha and Mantra Drashta. Okay, Mantra Drashta, Ekavachan, singular. Third, Satya Drashta. Four, Shastra Pravartakaha. Shastra Pravartakaha. 5, Vyakhyataraha. Vyakhyata. Okay. Bahuvachan. Okay. If you want to be great, you have to be considered as Rishi. Okay. You should be one of this. Either you should be a Gotra Pravartaka. Means what? You should begin your Gotra. Okay. Otherwise, you should see some mantras. Very easy to see. Mantra is not a poem. Okay. Third is Satya Drashta. You have seen the Satyam, truth. Or Shastra Pravartaka. You should start a new branch of science. Or you should be a great exponent of Shastra. A great exponent of Shastra. നമുക്ക് ഋഷിയാവണമെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? നമ്മളൊരു ഗോത്രം തുടങ്ങണം. അനൂപഗോത്ര, അങ്ങനൊരു ഗോത്രം. അങ്ങനൊരു ഗോത്രം തുടങ്ങുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ഋഷിയാവാം. അല്ലെങ്കിലോ മന്ത്രം കാണണം. എന്താ മന്ത്രം കാണുക വെച്ചാൽ മന്ത്രം നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെ എഴുതിയാലോ? മന്ത്രം എഴുതിയാലാവില്ല എന്നാണ്, കാണണം എന്നാണ്. എന്താ ചെയ്യുക? അടുത്തത് സത്യം കണ്ടവര്, സത്യത്തെ അറിഞ്ഞവര്, ശാസ്ത്രത്തിനെ പ്രവർത്തിപ്പിക്കുന്നവര്, പുതുതായിട്ടൊരു ശാസ്ത്രം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഉള്ള ശാസ്ത്രത്തെ തന്നെ ഒരു സ്കൂളായിട്ട് പ്രവർത്തിപ്പിക്കുന്നവർ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വലിയ വലിയ വ്യാഖ്യാതാര്, ഇത്രയും പേരെയാണ് ഋഷി എന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ഞാൻ പറയാം. നൗ വിൽ കം ടു ഫസ്റ്റ് വൺ. What first one is Gotra Pravartakaha. There are different Gotras in India. There are 10 Gotras which are started by Rishis. Okay, there are 10 Gotras which are started by the Rishis. They are 1. Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja is a Rishi. The Gotra will become Bharadwaja Gotra. Okay, Bharadwaja is the Gotra Pravartaka. The Gotra will become Bharadwaja. Okay. Second, Kaushika. Third, Vatsya. Fourth, Kaundinya. Five, Kashyapa. Six, Vasishtha. Seven, Jamadagnihi. 8, Vishwamitra. 9, Gautama. 10, Atrihi. These are the 10 rishis who started their own Gotra. So almost all of us, all people who belongs to our Hindu Dharma, Bharata Bhumi, we belongs to, generally, there are, I will tell you, we are supposed to belong to one of this Gotra. What are they? Bharadwaja. He started, his Gotra will be known as Bharadwaja Gotra. Kaushika is Kaushika Gotra. Vatsya is Vatsya Gotra. Kaundinya is Kaundinya Gotra. Kashyapa is Kashyapa Gotra. Kashyapa Gotra. Vasishtha is Vasishtha Gotra, Vasishthayaha. Jamadagni is Jamadagni. Vishwamitra is Vishwamitra. Gautama is Gautama. Atri became Atreya. Atri's Gotra will be known as Atreya Gotra. Okay. So almost all of us, but we do not know. What happens is like a branch. Okay. Now your family is there, no? Now if you study your family history, then they say, oh, once upon a time, we were living in somewhere else. Oh, now we are staying in this place. But 50 years back, we were living in some other place. Then we go there and then try to find out. Then we understand that we stayed there for 200 years. Before that, we were staying somewhere else. Okay. Then we say there was a great man in our family, and then we came from Andhra Pradesh. Just like I'm telling you. Then we go there, like that. So one person, suppose there are two children, they start their own gotra, their children, like that is known as pravaram. In gotra, then there are branches, like a tree, tree is there, and there's branches are there, and then sub branches are there, like that. The gotra is spread all over our land. Okay. Now, these are the 10, but we do not know. They say, if we do not know what is our gotra, we all belong to Kashyapa gotra, because Kashyapa is the Adipita. Okay. So, anyhow, these are the 10 gotra pravartakaha rishayaha. All of them are gotra pravartaka rishayaha. Now, second,
How are the gotras determined?
They started, so it is determined. Other than Vishwamitra, all other gotras are like children and their grandchildren and like that. Vishwamitra's gotra is Shishya gotra. Vishwamitra's gotra is Shishya gotra. Shishya means his disciples. So that's why all other gotra, you cannot marry from the same gotra. If you belongs to Bharadwaja gotra, you cannot marry from the Bharadwaja gotra, because they say your genetical are same. So you should not marry from the same gotra. But if you are in Vishwamitra, it's a little bit lenient, because we believe that Vishwamitra's gotra is not his children, they are his disciples. How this started, like this. Think about thousands of years back, there were only very few people. Okay, they are there. There are many villages, etc., where almost half of the village is our own family. Like that, they are there. Means we all belongs, we say, 500 years back or 200 years back, a person came here and he had 10 children. That was like that, 10 children, 15 children were there, and their children. Almost half of the villages are same family. Like that. All this, we are talking about thousands of years. Okay. So, these are the 10 gotra pravartakaha.
Is there a reason why if we don't know the gotra, that all will belong to Kashyapa?
Because Kashyapa is known as the Adi Prajapati. The first Prajapati is Kashyapa. Kashyapa married to different women, and from him all the like Devatas also came from him, and like when he married Aditi, then Adityas came. From Didi, Daityas came from. Like that. So he is kind of the first Prajapati. So married Manu. Manu also one wife, and Manavas came from him. So in a way, we can go back to Kashyapa. So Kashyapa Prajapati is considered as it could not be, because sometimes we forget, because when we, after some time, if it is not told to the next generation, after some time we forget. So it's not what I said. generally if you do not know, then but there are some other gotras in like South India, etc. We have Shiva gotra is there, because we belongs to, they feel that they belong to Shiva, not any, like that gotras are different. This is what I am telling about the gotra pravartaka rishis. Okay, these 10 rishis they started their own gotras, families. Families means extended families. Alla. Manu Rishi alla. Yes.
How important is that?
No. See, that's what. All of us in one way related to Kashyapa. So, even if we do not know specifically which gotra we belongs to, then we say that we are Kashyapa gotra. Because all of us, one way or another, we are related to Kashyapa. In that way. Okay. Now Now next comes Mantradrashta. Mantradrashta I have already explained to you. Mantradrashta means persons who have seen mantra. Means what? See, when they were meditating, these mantras were given to them. It is not like kavya. We think, okay, what is that? Then we write. In mantras are not written by them. Mantras are given to them. By whom? By Paramatma. That's the difference between a mantradrashta and a kavi. A poet also sits and from his own thinking he is writing. In mantra, it's not like that. Mantra is not by his thinking. No, it is revealed to him. Now, what is this revelation? Revelation means, see, when a person becomes very calm and quiet and his mood, his mind is elevated into a different level, if the samashti mind want to, use his mind as a media for communication with us, then what happens? Through him, what happens? This divine wisdom, which we are called as the Vedas, mantra, are revealed to us. So such people are known as mantradrashtaaraha. Mantradrashta chandartham, നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സ് വളരെ സൂക്ഷ്മമാകുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമ്മിലൂടെ സമഷ്ടി മനസ്സിന് ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഈ ലോകത്തെ അറിയിക്കാനുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, മന്ത്രങ്ങളെ അറിയിക്കാനുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, നമ്മിലൂടെ ആ മന്ത്രങ്ങൾ വെളിപ്പെടുത്തപ്പെടും. അങ്ങനെയുള്ളവരെയാണ് എന്ത് പറയുക? മന്ത്രദ്രഷ്ടാരഹ എന്ന് പറയാം. ഈ മന്ത്രദ്രഷ്ടാരഹ എന്നുള്ള പദവി സ്റ്റോപ്ഡായി. ഇനി നമുക്ക് ഒരിക്കലും മന്ത്രദ്രഷ്ടാവാൻ പറ്റില്ല. എന്തുകൊണ്ടെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഈ മന്ത്രങ്ങൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് നമ്മൾ എഴുതുന്നതല്ല, പിന്നെയോ വൈദികമായ മന്ത്രങ്ങളാണ്, വേദത്തിലെ മന്ത്രങ്ങളാണ്. Okay, so these mantras are, let me also meditate and then Vedic mantra. They say in Kali no more mantras will be revealed to us. Now slowly everything will be taken back. That we'll come to see in the next time. Okay, so mantradrashtaaraha understood, those people through whom the mantras are revealed are known as mantradrashtaaraha. Now comes the next, it's known as Satyadrashta. Satyadrashta means what? A person who has understood the truth. Means what? No, they might not have seen great mantras as such, but they have seen the supreme truth. What is the supreme truth? Ishvara, Bhagavan, okay, or Paramatma. So such Satyadrashtara are known as, are also called as Rishi. That's why sometimes people call Dayananda, Dayananda Saraswati, not our, Dayananda Saraswati of the 19th century as Maharshi Dayananda. Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati, not Dayananda Saraswati of Puja Gurudev's, Aji Samaja. So he was called as Maharshi because it's believed that he has not seen any mantra as such, but it's believed that he was a Satyadrashta. So he was known as Maharshi. Okay, Ramana Maharshi also. Bhagavan Ramana also was called as Maharshi, not because he has seen any mantra or he is a Gotra Pravartaka, but he has experienced the supreme truth. Now comes the Shastra Pravartaka. What is Shastra Pravartaka? Those people who started schools of knowledge like Nyaya, Vedanta, Vyakarana, Mimamsa, etc. What are Shastra Pravartaka? Shastra Pravartaka എന്നർത്ഥം നമ്മുടെ ഭാരതത്തിലെ ഒരുപാട് ശാസ്ത്രങ്ങളുണ്ട്. ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് വ്യാകരണ ശാസ്ത്രം, അതുപോലെ ന്യായശാസ്ത്രം, വൈശേഷിക ശാസ്ത്രം, യോഗശാസ്ത്രം. സോ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ശാസ്ത്രത്തെ മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോയ ആളുകളെ എന്ത് പറയുക? ശാസ്ത്രപ്രവർത്തകൻ എന്ന് പറയാം. അപ്പോൾ പതഞ്ജലി ഋഷി എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ മഹർഷി പതഞ്ജലി വേദമന്ത്രങ്ങളെ കണ്ടതുകൊണ്ടല്ല. When we call Patanjali as Maharshi, it's not because he is a Gotra Pravartaka, not because he is a Mantradrashta, Satyadrashta, of course, he might be Satyadrashta, but because he is called as Rishi, Maharshi, because Shastra Pravartakatvat. He has started or brought this Shastra into a, because he wrote sutras and then, started a system. So he is known as Shastra Pravartaka. Now, some of the Rishis, Vyakhyatara, one who explained Shastra, also sometime called as Rishi. Vyakhyata means what? ഈ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ശാസ്ത്രീയമായ തത്വങ്ങളെ നമുക്ക് വ്യാഖ്യാനിച്ചു തരുന്ന ചില ആളുകളെയും ചില സമയത്ത് ഋഷി എന്ന് വിളിക്കാറുണ്ട്. വെരി rarely those people who actually explained also are known as rishi. Very rarely. Okay. Udharanam, there is a rishi known as Pippalada. Okay, Pippalada as such, he is not a Gotra Pravartaka, he is not a Mantradrashta, he is not a, we do not know about Satyam, that is something, he is not a Shastra Pravartaka. But he explained many aspects of Ayurveda. He himself is not Ayurveda Pravartaka, but some of the Ayurvedic truths are explained by Pippalada. So Pippalada is known as a Rishi, because a Vyakhyata. But very rarely we use that word for a person who is a Vyakhyata, but there are people. Okay, so these are the 5 kinds of rishis existing in our Bharata culture, our Indian culture. Now, you want to ask something? Shankaracharya Swamiകളെ നമ്മൾ ഋഷി എന്ന് വിളിക്കാറില്ല, ആചാര്യൻ എന്നാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. ഞാൻ പറയാം. ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ ആരെയും ഋഷി എന്ന് വിളിക്കാറില്ല. ഇപ്പം നമുക്കതാ പറഞ്ഞത്, ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ആരെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് വിളിക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല. പക്ഷെ അത് സൊസൈറ്റി അക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് മാത്രം. Okay? Right. Now let us go to the next stage. Now let us say, now forget about all this, okay? These are all different kinds of things, just forget. Now generally, that's a very beautiful conversation between Narada and Bhagavan Mahavishnu in Vishnu Purana. Narada asked Bhagavan, "Oh Bhagavan, who is Rishi?" So in Vishnu Purana, okay, in Vishnu Purana, Sri Mahavishnu himself is giving the nature of Rishi. But now let's forget this, okay? Otherwise we'll get in conflict. Okay, who is a Rishi? Bhagavan says there, Urdhvaretas Tapasyogah. Please note down this, that will give lots of clarity. Urdhvareta Tapasyogah. Niyatashi cha samyami. Shapanugrahayo shaktah. Satyasandho bhaved rishihi. Rishihi. Kaha Rishihi? Who is Rishi? They say, Urdhvareta Tapasyogah. Niyatashi cha samyami. Shapanugrahayo shaktah. Satyasandho bhaved rishihi. Who is a Rishi? urdhvareta, one who is established in brahmacharya. What do you mean by brahmacharya established? Means he has conquered his body, mind and indriyas. Are we conquered our indriyas or mind? Mind conquers us, indriya conquers us. No, whatever they want, whatever indriyas want, that's what we do. But who is a rishi? Urdhvareta, one who is pratishtita in brahmacharya. He has conquered the all indriyas and he is firmly pratishtita. Urdhvareta. And tapasyoga. Tapasyoga means what? Great vast ocean of tapas. So much of tapas is there in him. Niyatashi. Niyatashi means one who eats when he actually need to eat. Samyami, who has power over his mind. Shapanugrahayo shaktaha, one who is powerful to bless and also to curse. Satyasandhaha, one who is firmly established in Satya. Such a person is known as Rishi. So, Urdhvareta means what? One who has conquered his body. His body will not respond according to the stimulus. Okay? Why? Because he is firmly established in tapas. He has done so much of tapas in his life. Without his wish, his body will not respond to any kinds of stimulus which are produced in this world. That is known as Urdhvareta. Niyadashi means what? He eats only what is needed. Not only eat through the mouth. Eating is with all our indriyas. Seeing is also an eating. Hearing is also, eating means what? To take in. Asanam means to accept in, to take in. So, he hear, he touch, everything, but limited, as much as needed. Samyami, who has now full control over his indriyas and mind. And Shapa Anugrahayoho Shaktaha. He has the power to bless you and he has the power to curse you also. That's why people were so much afraid, And Satyasandha. Why? How he got this power to bless and curse? Because he is Satyasandha. He has never spoke, thought or did anything which is untruth. Means what? His word, his deed and his thought all were Satyam, truth. Such a person who is established in this Satyata, then he becomes Satyasandha. They say, if you practice this 12 years, what? You should think only truth, you should act only truth, you should only speak truth, not even as a joke. You should not speak anratam, asatyam. If you do this for 12 years, you will get a siddhi. What is that siddhi? That siddhi is known as the vak siddhi. What is vak siddhi? If you always speak truth, then it becomes your nature and whatever you say will become satya. Satyasandha. Adana Rishi Urdhvareta. Urdhvareta chandartam ശരീരത്തിനു മുകളിൽ പൂർണ്ണമായും നിയന്ത്രണം കിട്ടിയവൻ. ഈ ലോകത്തിലുള്ള ഏതെങ്കിലും എന്താ പറയുക പ്രലോഭനങ്ങളെ കൊണ്ടോ ഒന്നും ഒരിക്കലും മനസ്സ് ചലിക്കാത്തവൻ ഉള്ള പേരാണ് ഊർധ്വരേതാഹ. രേതസ് എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ബ്രഹ്മചര്യം എന്നർത്ഥം. രേതസ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ നമ്മുടെ ശക്തി എന്നർത്ഥം. ഊർധ്വരേതസ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ രേതസ്സിനെ നമ്മളുടെ ശക്തിയെ, നമ്മളുടെ റീപ്രൊഡക്ഷനുള്ള പവറിനെയാണ് രേതസ് എന്ന് പറയാം. അതിന് മുകളിലേക്ക് ആക്കുക വെച്ചർത്ഥം എന്താണ്? നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സൊരിക്കലും കാമാസക്തമാവുന്നില്ല എന്നർത്ഥം. Urdhva Rejas means what? Our mind will never be affected by lust. That's the meaning. Tapasyoga means what? A person, അതർത്ഥം തപസ്സിന്റെ സമുദ്രം, ചില വലിയ തപസ്സുകൾ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നവൻ, ശാരീരികവും മാനസികവും വാചികവുമായ തപസ്സിൽ ഉറച്ചവൻ. നിയതാശി, എത്രമാത്രം ജീവിക്കാൻ ആവശ്യമുണ്ടോ അത്രമാത്രം സ്വീകരിക്കുന്നവൻ. അശനം കഴിക്കാൻ മാത്രമല്ല അർത്ഥം, ഉടുക്കാൻ എത്ര ആവശ്യമുണ്ടോ, കുടിക്കാൻ എത്ര ആവശ്യമുണ്ടോ അതുമാത്രം സ്വീകരിക്കുന്നവൻ. സംയമി, മനസ്സിലും ശരീരത്തിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ പൂർണ്ണമായ നിയന്ത്രണമുള്ളവൻ. ശാപാനുഗ്രഹയോഹു ശക്ത, ആർക്കാണോ ശപിക്കാനും അനുഗ്രഹിക്കാനുമുള്ള ശക്തിയുള്ളത്. സത്യസന്ധ, ഒരിക്കലും ശരീരം കൊണ്ടോ വാക്കുകൊണ്ടോ മനസ്സുകൊണ്ടോ ഒരിക്കലും കള്ളം പറയുകയോ ചിന്തിക്കുകയോ ചെയ്യുകയോ ചെയ്യാത്തവൻ. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഒരാളാണ് ആരാവുക? ഋഷിയാവുക. അപ്പം നമുക്ക് ഋഷിയാവണമെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്താൽ മതി? ഇതൊക്കെ ചെയ്താൽ മതി. എളുപ്പമല്ലേ? നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം എന്തായാലും. അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് ഭവേത് ഋഷി. ദിസ് മച്ച് ഋഷി എന്നുള്ള ശബ്ദത്തിൻ്റെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ. ഇനി ഇപ്പോൾ ചോദിച്ചു അല്ലേ, ശങ്കരാചാര്യസ്വാമികളെ നമ്മൾ ഋഷി എന്ന് പറയാറില്ല, പിന്നെന്താ പറയുക? ഇത് എല്ലാവരും എഴുതിയല്ലോ അല്ലേ? സോറി. ഇനി നമുക്ക് we have to see some other words also which are very much related to this concept of rishi or concept of guru and rishi. One word is known as acharya. Okay, another word is upadhyaya. Third word is adhyapakah. Fourth word is guruhu. These 5 words are also very much, we should understand. One word is there, munihi. Sorry, munihi. Kavihi. We can write so many. Kavi. Kapi alla, kavihi. Okay. Now let us start from the down. First one is kavi. Kavi means what? A poet. Kavi means generally poet. But in our term, kavi, kavayah, kranta drashtarah. Who is a kavi? Kavayah kranta drashtarah. Kranta drashta means what? Those people who can see the future. വരാനിരിക്കുന്നതിനെ മുൻകൂട്ടി കണ്ട് പറയാൻ കഴിയുന്നവരുടെ പേരാണ് കവി. അതാണ് അവരുടെ പ്രത്യേകത. അപ്പോൾ പൊയറ്റ് ശരിക്കും നല്ലൊരു കവി എപ്പോഴാവുന്നത്? വരാനിരിക്കുന്നതിലേക്കുള്ള ഒരു പീപ്പ് ഹോൾ അവർക്ക് ഉണ്ടാവുമ്പോഴാണ് അവർ കവിയാവുന്നത്. Who is a good poet? A poet who can see something which is not seen by us. Means what? We also see the world, we also see a beautiful flower. They also see a beautiful flower. And we say, what a beautiful flower. Then they say, then a poetry comes out of them. Now, we see when we are walking, we saw that one flower is just fallen down. We say, sometimes, most of the time we don't notice it. And then Kumaranasan also walking, and then he saw one flower is fallen. Then one big kavita came of Veena Puva in Malayalam. So like that, we see now rain. Then when rains come, after some time we started to curse it. Then summer come. Then we curse summer. That's how we live. But when Kalidasa saw summer and then rainy season, and then poetry came out of this, Ritu Samhara. So, who is a kavi? Kavi is a person who sees something more than what we see. ആരാണ് കവി? നമ്മൾ കാണുന്നതിനേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ, അതിനേക്കാൾ കുറച്ചുകൂടി അഗാധത്തിൽ കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ആളുടെ പേരാണ് എന്ത്? കവി. അല്ലേ? നമ്മളൊരു വീണപ്പൂവിനെ കണ്ടു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നോക്ക് പോലും ഇല്ല. പക്ഷേ കുമാരനാശൻ അത് കണ്ടപ്പോൾ വീണപ്പൂവ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു ഖണ്ഡകാവ്യം ഉണ്ടായി. എങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടായി? അതിനെയാണ് കവിത്വം എന്ന് പറയാം. നൗ ഹു ഇസ് മുനി? മുനി മീൻസ് മനനശീലവാൻ മുനിഹി. What is the meaning of muni? Mananashilavan. Mananam. Mananam means what? Contemplation. A person who can contemplate is known as munihi. ആരാണ് മുനി? കേട്ടതിനെ കുറിച്ച് വീണ്ടും വീണ്ടും ചിന്തിച്ച് അതിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥത്തെ ഗ്രഹിക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്ന ആളെയാണ് മുനി എന്ന് പറയാം. മനനശീലവാൻ. The person who can, contemplate what he has heard and then understand the inner meanings of, of things which is heard is known as Munihi. Muninamapyaham Vyasa. Among Muni, Bhagavan say, I am Vyasa. Why? Because Vyasa heard things and then he contemplated upon it and then he made such a change in our society. Now comes, let us leave Guru because we have to learn Guru in little detail. Adhyapakaha. What is the meaning of Adhyapakaha? We use this word, no? Adhyapaka means what? Teacher. Teacher. This comes from a word, Adhi plus Apakaha. Apako nama prapakaha. Who is a teacher? Who is Adhyapaka? Adhyapaka is a person who helps us to understand things. Whether it is science, whether it is mathematics, whether it is sociology. He is not contributing something new. He is not contributing, but he helps us to understand the right meaning of Shastra. Adhi apakaha. Adhi means inside. No, a teacher is the one who actually helps a student to establish, to take, understand whatever is taught to him. So Adhyapaka is not a lecturer who comes there and whether you understand or not. That is not Adhyapaka. Adhyapaka is a person who sees that each and every student understand what is taught to them. So Adhyapaka. Now comes Upadhyaya. Adhyapaka comes and goes. Upadhyaya continue to be with us. Upadhyaya means a person, he is also a teacher, but a teacher who continues with us. Now, he helps us in each and every aspect of our life. We all used to have. Now, like there is a family priest. You remember? There used to be. Each family had priests. So, they will be with us. When there is a birth in the house, he comes. When the Namakarana, when the Vivaha, when death. There is a person who is always with us. Such a person is known as Upadhyaya. A person, he teaches us. He teaches us, he guides us through different stages of our life. Upadhyaya എന്നുവെച്ചാൽ നമ്മളെ വേദം പഠിപ്പിക്കും അദ്ദേഹം. പിന്നെ നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തിലെ ഓരോരോ ഘട്ടങ്ങളിലും നമ്മുടെ ഒപ്പം ഉണ്ടാവും അവർ. നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലോ നമ്മുടെ സമൂഹത്തിലോ ആവശ്യമായിട്ടുള്ള കർമ്മങ്ങളെല്ലാം ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യണം, എന്ത് ചെയ്തുകൂടാ എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമ്മളെ പഠിപ്പിക്കുക മാത്രമല്ല, അല്ലേ? അധ്യാപകൻ എന്താ ചെയ്യുന്നുള്ളൂ? അധ്യാപകൻ നമ്മളെ പഠിപ്പിക്കും. ഉപാധ്യായൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? നമ്മുടെ ഒപ്പം ഉണ്ടാവും. എന്നുവെച്ചാലോ, നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ പുരോഹിതൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ, ഈ പുരോഹിതൻ നമ്മുടെ ഫാമിലിയുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട പുരോഹിതനെയാണ് ഉപാധ്യായൻ എന്ന് പറയാം. A Purohita can be, he can be in the temple. But Upadhyaya is not only just a Purohita, he is the family advisor also. Something is happening in the house. We ask him, is it right time, is it wrong time, should we do that, should not we? Because he is kind of a family advisor. Not only advisor, he teaches us also. Now, I want to do this karma, how to do, he teaches us. Not only teaches, he helps us. So, Upadhyaya is a person who helps us, who guides us, who takes us through the different stages of our life. Such a person is known as Upadhyaya. Now comes the word Acharya. Who is Acharya? There are different definitions for Acharya. They say, Achinoti cha shastrani. Who is Acharya? Achinoti cha shastrani. Acharye sthapayatyapi. Anyancha prerayantiti. Acharya kavayo viduhu. Who is Acharya? There is another version of this sloka also, okay? Different shastra gives little bit difference. Who is Acharya? Achinoti cha shastrani. A person who is well versed in different shastras. Not only one shastra. Shastrani means different shastra, plural. Achinoti cha shastrani. Not only just study shastra, acharya sthapayatyapi. Whatever he studied, he practiced. Not only he practiced, anyancha prerayanti. He gives inspiration for others to walk this shastric path. Such a person is known as Acharya. ആരാണ് ആചാര്യൻ? ആചിനോതി ശാസ്ത്രമാണ്. ചിലോ ശാസ്ത്രങ്ങളെ സഞ്ചയിക്കുക, വിവിധ ശാസ്ത്രങ്ങൾ പഠിക്കുക. ഒരു ശാസ്ത്രം മാത്രം പഠിച്ചാൽ പോരാ, ശാസ്ത്രത്തിലെ വിവിധ ശാസ്ത്രങ്ങളെ പഠിക്കുക, ആ പഠിച്ചതിനെയൊക്കെ നല്ലവണ്ണം മനസ്സിലാക്കുക. എന്നിട്ടോ വെറുതെ അത് പ്രസംഗിച്ചാൽ മാത്രം പോരാ, ഈ പഠിച്ചതിനെ സ്വന്തം ജീവിതത്തിൽ ആചരിക്കുക. ആചാരേ സ്ഥാപയതി. എന്നിട്ടോ സ്വന്തം ജീവിതത്തിൽ ആചരിക്കുക മാത്രമല്ല, മറ്റുള്ളവരെയും ഈ നല്ല വഴിയിലൂടെ നടക്കാൻ പ്രേരിപ്പിക്കുക. അന്യാഞ്ച പ്രേരയന്തി. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഒരാളെയാണ് എന്ത് പറയുക? അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആളെയാണ് ആചാര്യ കവയോ വിദുഹു. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആളെയാണ് എന്ത് പറയുക? ആചാര്യൻ എന്ന് പറയാം. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഭഗവാൻ ശങ്കരാചാര്യർ. എന്താ ശങ്കരാചാര്യ? ആചിനോതി ച ശാസ്ത്രാണി. ശ്രുതി സ്മൃതി പുരാണാനാമാലയം. They say when he was 8 years old, he studied Vedas, etc. 12, all branches of knowledge. 16, wrote all bhashyas. Such a person, is known as Acharya, not such a person. Okay, that's why Bhagavan is known as Acharya. See, sometimes we wrongly say that Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta was started by Shankaracharya. He never says that. Shankaracharya is not a person who started any. No. sometimes we call him Mayavadi. People say that Shankaracharya started this, brought this concept of Maya into our philosophy. No. Even if you read Bhagavad Gita itself, this concept of Maya is there. In the Upanishads, Maya concept is. Shankaracharya has not started anything. What he did, he brought back this Advaitic wisdom to the society. Achinotija Shastrani. Not only Bhagavan studied, but he walked. He actually practiced what he was preaching. Not only practiced. There are people, they study and then they practice. But Shankaracharya was Anyancha Prerayandi, walking. Just think, we are at least 12,000 years back, length and breadth of India, 3 times he walked. My God, you cannot. From here, if you want to Pepadi, we call for an auto. 1.5 kilometers. This entire India, India means not our India, Akhanda Bharata. He went to Lahore, he went to all those places. And why he walked? Anyancha Prerayandi, giving great inspiration for the entire society. He brought such a renaissance into Hindu, Vedantic way. He brought such a change into this Sanatana Dharma. Why? Not bringing something new, but bringing back the old understanding and philosophy and giving inspiration to people to walk this path. Such a person is known as Acharya. So that's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya is known as Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya. All of them are Acharyas. Why? Because they studied, they practiced, and then they inspired others also to practice. So such people are known as Acharya. Okay. Now comes the word Guru, but now I think all of you are very tired. You are all looking very tired. So we'll learn the concept of Guru.